So, if you're a DS4 Windows user, you already know how much time goes into perfecting those custom profiles. Today, we're going to make sure you never, ever lose them. We'll show you exactly how to take complete control of your settings and all your user data for good.
Oh yeah, we've all been there. You spend hours getting that dead zone just right. You set up all these amazing macros, you dial in the sensitivity, and then an update or a fresh install pops up and you get that little pit in your stomach. Is all that hard work about to just disappear?
Well, you can officially stop worrying, because in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how to find your data, how to back it up, and how to restore it. By the time we're done, you'll know precisely how to keep all your custom setups safe and sound.
We're going to tackle this in 4 simple parts. First, we'll uncover where your data is actually hiding. Then, we'll learn the single most important rule for how DS4 Windows reads that data. After that, we get hands-on with a solid action plan. And finally, we'll solve the puzzle of what happens when your data shows up in 2 places at once.
Okay, let's start at square one. Before you can manage your data, you got to know what you're even looking for and where it lives. This is, without a doubt, the most critical first step.
Think of these files and folders as the brain of your entire setup. That Profiles folder, that's where all your individual controller profiles live. And all those other XML files, well, they store your special actions, your auto-switching rules, your controller configs, basically everything that makes your setup yours. This is the good stuff.
Right.
So that's the big question, isn't it? DS4 Windows can actually store all this data in one of 2 possible locations, and it is absolutely essential to know which one your system is currently using.
So the first place to check is what we call the Profile folder. The easiest way to find this is to just pop into the Settings tab inside the app itself. It'll show you the path right there. The second possibility is the Main folder, which is just, the folder where the main DS4 Windows application file is located. To be safe, it's always smart to check both spots.
All right, so now that we know where to look, let's talk about the how. How does the software decide which set of files to actually load up and use? Well, it all comes down to one simple but really powerful rule.
And here it is. This is the key. You need to look for a file named Profiles.xml. Whichever folder has that specific file in it, whether it's the dedicated Profile folder or the Main folder, that is the one and the only one that DS4 Windows is actively using. This little file is your North Star for managing all of your data.
Now for the practical part. Let's actually build out our action plan for the 3 things you'll definitely need to do: backing up, restoring, and of course, deleting your settings.
To back everything up, first use our new Profiles.xml rule to find your active data folder. Now, the process is super simple. If your active data is in the main program folder, just copy that entire folder and stick it somewhere safe. If it's in that separate profile folder, you only need to copy the specific user data files and folders we pointed out earlier.
And restoring that data, it's even easier. You just copy your backed up files into whichever location you want DS4 Windows to use from now on. The one key thing to remember is, if the program is already running, you have to close it and reopen it for those changes to actually kick in.
So what if you want to do a little spring cleaning and get rid of an old profile you don't use anymore? Simple. Just head over to that active data folder, select the profile or config file you want to get rid of, and just hit the delete key. And hey, for those of you who like to keep things extra tidy, here's a little pro tip. If you want to completely bypass the recycle bin and just delete a file for good, hold down the Shift key when you press delete. Just be absolutely sure you want it gone forever, because there is no coming back from that. Okay, for our last section, let's tackle a very specific but really important scenario. What happens when DS4 Windows finds user data in both of the possible locations? This can happen sometimes, maybe after you manually copied some files over or after you installed a new version. The program boots up and suddenly sees 2 different sets of profiles and settings. So what does it do? And this is actually pretty smart. The program doesn't try to guess or merge them together. Nope, it just stops and asks you to make the decision. You'll get a little prompt on screen asking which folder's data you want to load for your session. Now, listen up, because this is probably the single most important thing to remember from this entire explainer. When you make that choice, the data in the folder you didn't pick will be deleted automatically and permanently. So if you ever see that prompt, just take a breath and be absolutely certain you're choosing the right folder.
And there you have it. You are now officially in command of your DS4 Windows data.
You know where it lives, how to back it up, and how to restore it with total confidence. So the only question left is, with all that peace of mind, what kind of amazing new profiles and custom actions are you going to go build next?